Okay, question 8. The function length phrase calculates the length of a string phrase. So we've been given the library routine length, or library function length, in the question. That's quite helpful. Write the pseudocode statements to store the string. The beginning is the most important part in phrase. Calculate and output the length of the string. Well, we've got that library function to do that. That's helpful. And then output the string in uppercase. So let's look at the first bullet point. So we have to store the string using phrase. That's the variable name. So we're going to assign the string to that. So we'll write phrase assign, and then we'll put the string. Okay, the beginning is the most important part. Now I'm trying to write a little bit more neatly. I've looked at the other videos and my writing is a bit shocking, partially due to the angle that the board's at, the screen I'm writing on anyway. That's going to be my excuse. So next bullet point, calculate and output the length of the string. So we've got the library routine or library function equalness there. So I'm going to do it a different way to the mark scheme, because you might have been taught a slightly different way to the mark scheme, and we'll talk about that after. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new variable, and I'm going to call it len phrase, and I'm going to assign that the length of phrase. Okay, they tell us in the question the length phrase calculates length of the string, so we're calculating it and then we're assigning it to a new variable, and I'm just going to output that variable because it says in the bullet point calculate and output the length of the string. And that's quite more like how you might have been taught to do this. The last bullet point, output the string in uppercase. So they haven't given us the library function or library routine for that, but in this version of pseudocode we use U case for uppercase and L case to convert to lowercase. So I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to say I'm going to create a new variable, and I'm going to call it upper phrase, and I'm going to assign that to write U case and then in brackets phrase, and now I'm going to output that new variable again. Output upper phrase. Okay, let's have a look at that compared to the mark scheme. So we've got 4 things that we could do. Storing the string in phrase, that gives us a mark for that. It's not a very neat tick. Correct use of the length function. So we have correctly used the length function, and we've assigned that to a variable. Correct use of the uCase function. Again, we've used that correctly. And correct outputs. So we output the length and we've output the uppercase. Now if we look at the example, they've done the same as us for the first line, but the second 2 lines they've kind of combined the output in with the question. So there's no question that we haven't done that what we've done isn't correct. That it is. It just looks slightly different. So if you're not used to outputting, sort of basically reducing your code as they've done here, then the answer that I've shown you is perfectly fine. So either one is good for the marks. Okay, write the output your pseudocode should produce. So the first thing we need to do is we need to output the length of the phrase. So I need to count all of the characters in this. So there are 40, otherwise you'll just see me going 1, 2, 3. There are 40, so I'm going to write that. And then the next output is uppercase, so we have to write all of this in uppercase, so all of the string. So the beginning is the most important part. So let's just check the mark scheme for that, and as usual I've written over the mark scheme, but you can see we've output the number of characters 40 and the the rest of it in capital letters, the string. Right, thank you very much. On to the next question.